Hey guys, what's going on? Alright, so this is a very, very important message to all Americans. If you have not yet heard, the EBT program, the SNAP benefits, food stamps, whatever you want to call them, are being given out early in February because of the fact that they don't know if they'll be able to give them out in March. And you might say, I'm not on food stamps, this doesn't matter to me. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me explain how this works. And already, due to the government shutdown, there are already stores that cannot even accept the EBT anymore because every 5 years they have to do their renewal form to continue taking the SNAP benefits, and some of them didn't make the deadline of December 21st. And so some of them can't even accept them. So even if you did have them, your store might not even be able to accept them. I think that's a very small percentage right now, but already many states are giving out their February benefits right now. This is a terrible idea because people are going to go spend them. They're already doing it. Spend them and not spend them wisely because they're going to think, just like they always do, we just do this because we have always been in an abundance mindset that, oh, the government, they're not going to do that to us. They're not going to shut down the EBT program. Okay, sure, right. Yeah, they are. Besides that, also people that are on Section 8 aren't being able to get their checks to pay their rent. So how is this going to affect you if you are not on any of these programs? There will be riots in the streets. The people that can afford to buy a tremendous amount of groceries will go and buy out these stores. This happens every hurricane, every disaster, even just for Christmas gifts. Whenever it's like a awesome gift and people know they can sell it on eBay or Amazon. This happens for everything. I'm just gonna have to throw in Venezuela right now because it's not funny, but it is, because that's exactly what happened in Venezuela. People that could buy, they did. They'd take it over to Colombia and then sell it on the street for 10 times the amount. It's happening. It's going to be happening. And you need to be ready for it. Am I telling people to go freak out? If that's what causes you to actually go get prepared, then yeah, because this is all over the actual news, and they're telling them you need to make sure that you preserve your food stamps, make sure you spend them wisely and whatnot. I just have a hard time believing that most people will spend them wisely. And from experience, I know that many people sell their food stamps because they get them essentially illegally. Whenever I was teaching in the inner city schools, I had students actually offer me $400 worth of food stamps for $200. This is not a conversation about people that are getting food stamps illegally or not or whatever. The situation is going to be the riots, because there is 1/6 of our population. I think that's kind of off. There's 40 million people in our country that are on food stamps. If they are hungry, which they will be freaking out and starting riots. They will be burning down stores after they loot them. It happens during hurricanes. It happens during everything. And this is going to be detrimental. It's essentially what I have been talking about, what was going to happen. And I found this video of this guy that I don't even think he has any subs or anything. He just happened to make this video, and he said exactly what many of my sources have been saying exactly. I'm going to play that in just a second. I just want y'all to know to take this seriously. When they're actually giving out, they never give out food stamps early. I mean, I just want to ask something real quick. Can you eat a wall? Can that wall protect you and your family from the community of people that will be rioting in the streets because they're not getting their Section 8, they're not getting their food stamps or whatever else, or even the government employees that they've already, many of them missed their January 7th check or whatever it was. People aren't taking this seriously. They're like, oh, good job, good job. The only people that are saying that are the people that have a savings account, which the mass majority of Americans do not. So you can say, oh, whatever, I have a savings account, I'm not worried about this. You need to be. My suggestion would be to get together with some part of your community and you come up with a plan. Talk to local leaders, local groups, your neighborhood, and y'all come up with a plan that you have enough for yourself, and then, I mean, to help others, because it's going to happen. And this is happening fast. Because people are already freaking out in big cities and stuff because they see the writing on the wall. This is so much like what happened during the Balkan conflict. And I'm going to show y'all an article from that Selko wrote. I messaged him. He messaged me back a couple of times. We've talked over Facebook. But he runs the Shit Hits the Fan school. He actually lived in Shit Hits the Fan scenario for a year or two during the Balkan conflict. And the things that, it's just parallel. It's just so much alike what's going on here and what happened there. But this is not a joke, because even if you have enough stuff, it doesn't matter, because the people that aren't and that are just absolutely not paying attention, which you know most people aren't, they're not going to pay attention until that check doesn't come. And then they're going to be like, what happened? What happened? I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just being real. Like, share, subscribe. We'll come up with some other things. But I'm going to play that video right now. And, I mean, I don't know who this guy is. I just love the way, I mean, he pretty much laid it out exactly how I've been told by many sources, and essentially exactly what is going to go down. So, y'all have a great day.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? One more video. The EBT food stamp crisis and the migrant wall crisis and the people that are coming over and illegally and things like that. It's called problem, reaction, solution. The reason why there's an EBT crisis and they're pretending that they are not going to be able to give people food stamps anymore, and the reason why the government is doing this little shutdown bullshit, and the reason why at the exact same time they're doing this little migrant, crisis to where these Honduras caravans are supposedly coming up from, South America and coming into America. They've created three crises: government shutdown, EBT, and migrant crises. And the reason why they're doing that is because most people, especially Americans, because you guys are such fucking retards, can't not only see the big picture and realize that nothing happens by chance. Everything is done by design. But you people can't see the big picture, and you can't see that everything is being created and done and rolled out on you, because regular American people can only handle one, maybe two crises at the most. And so they think that the government shutdown, EBT, and the migrant thing is the end of the world, and they're losing their minds and they can't handle it. So then eventually the government will come in with the solution, problem, reaction, solution. And then they're gonna implement even more draconian martial law type things on the American people, and it's sad that people don't realize this. And the reason why I'm talking about it, because I was just in McDonald's getting a hash brown, and I saw this thing about the migrant caravan from Honduras, and they were talking about the EBT and the government shutdown, and saying that because there's a government shutdown, there's not enough people on the border to stop people from coming in. And that's total bullshit. This is all happening by design. It's all created by design. So this is what's going to happen. The country's gone. Anyone who still has any nationalism left in them, you got to realize, and I'm sorry to say this to you, I wish it existed. I wish nationalism was a true thing, but it's not. It's all made up. It's all symbolism and tribalism. It's designed to divide and conquer people and control people, and it's worked perfectly. They are done with the United States, the people that control things, and they're moving on to the next show. And they're going to leave everyone here to fight amongst each other and to live in chaos and squalor and third and fourth world problems and dilemmas in a way of life in America. That's going to happen here. The borders are meant to come down. And I don't blame the people, but eventually they will come up from the South into America. And if you don't speak Spanish below the parallel, you're not going to do very good here. If you want to stay here, you better learn Spanish. And I have nothing against the Mexican people. I respect the people from down south. At least the Mexican people and the South American people have had the fucking balls and courage to sustain their identity, their culture identity, their language, their way of life, and their way of doing things. I respect that. And if you think that the government is going to protect you and stop people from coming up from South in America and Mexico, you're wrong. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I don't know. I don't care. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm hated by all sides. I'm a Jew. Everyone hates me. No one wants anything to do with me. All I can do is offer you good advice and tell you what's going on here. If they wanted to secure the borders, they could do it without a wall. I mean, look at Area 51. You can't even go near the place. They could take that technology and put it down on the border and no one would even get in here. And the size of the military here could solve that problem. But it's problem, reaction, solution. There's all these problems being created at once, and it's driving people out of their minds, and they can't imagine how to fix the problems here. But what I'm telling you is this: by 2025, and as early as 2020, 21, there will be no borders, and people from the South will flood up into America, and there will be all kinds of problems and all kinds of chaos for about 3 or 4 generations until people kind of metamorphose into one culture, and then everything will be okay. If you're not ready for that, or you don't want to have anything to do with that, then you better throw away that tribalism and nationalism bullshit and realize that it's just you. You're an individual. You're born alone. You'll die alone. And if you want a champion right now, you better be your own champion. They are done with America. They've sucked this place, and I'm talking about the man, the elite, whoever. They've sucked this place as completely dry as they possibly could, and it's Masonic tradition. They are going to destroy everything behind them and move on to a brighter, better, and bigger future. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, wherever that is, I'm not exactly sure. But if you think you're going to hold on to something here like nationalism and tribalism, it doesn't exist. It wasn't meant to exist. Everything that you know about this country and about the people and the history, it's all a lie. Everything from the beginning up until now has been controlled and ran and has to do with the English monarchy. America has never been America. The story and the lies and the history you've been told are completely fictitious. If you are going to hold on to something, hold on to your sanity and embrace and find your individualism, because it is done and over with here. Eventually, they will completely pull the plug on EBT. Eventually, they will open the borders wide open. Eventually, the government will not fund anybody to do anything to protect anyone, especially you American people. It's done and over with. And you have to comprehend that. You guys, because you're fucking, you have the mentality and the mind of children, adolescents. That's the difference between the majority of Americans versus the minority of Americans. There's only a small number of people that have an idea of what's going on here, and most of the people don't. That's why all these little elementary school games that they play on the American people work on you guys. I digress. But anyways, it's done and over with here. That border, it will be gone in a year or two, 5 at the most. Okay? Nothing is worth holding on here. You have to get a hold of yourself. Know thyself. That's the only thing from history that I have ever heard of that makes any sense. It's done and over here, you guys. Until you know that, you're screwed. EBT, government shutdown, and the migrant caravan from South America are the least of your problems, you guys. Those are just little games that they play to create panic in you, because you have the mentality of a child. And I'm not making fun of you for that. All I'm saying is you need to search a little bit deeper and realize everything that you believe in, everything that you know, everything that you trust, everything that you depend on isn't real. It's not real, especially the whole American dream, the Americanism, the American history, the American way of life. They are done with you, and they are done with this place. They have gotten all the work they could get out of you. They've gotten every resource. They've gotten every piece of gold and silver and titanium that they could pull out of the ground here, and they're on to the next show. That's what they do here. That's the Masonic way of doing things. The Masons run the world, you guys, and until you comprehend that, you're not going to know everything. All these politicians, everyone that runs everything, the front people you see on the news, that you see, that you vote for, they are put there for you to divide and conquer you, and for you to argue over and vote over, while there's real stuff going on behind the scenes. And if you don't wake up and comprehend that, you're going to be one sorry person. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, you guys have a good day. Peace.